What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite truck driver, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben, here to invite you to our weekly Friday owners call. Now, what the owners call is it's a call that I and some of my associates actually do with our current and our prospective owners of our clubs, where we give you the information, answer the questions that you have on what's going on with your club you own right now, or what are the investment opportunities of owning a piece of the club. If you're interested in owning a share or a piece of our clubs, our resorts, our bank, our future airline we're launching, our decentralized private jet company, get on board, guys. Everyone's moving in to the decentralized economy. Join now and at least join the owner's call. It's easy peasy. You get all the information you need. You can ask all the questions you want, and it's very simple. Give us a call or send us a text right now at 941 391 3882. It's right here. 941 391 3882. Love you guys, and I will see you guys later. Give us a call. Bye-bye. God, I am horrible at making ads. I remember when I did that one, I'm sitting there like, all right, what should I say? And I just, is it wung it or winged it? Wanged it? You know what I mean. What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben here for the Thursday. I know usually Jay's here on Thursday, but Jay had some things he had to actually take care of. So I'm sorry, guys. You're just gonna have to put up with me. Jay is occupied right now. So the reason I wanted to get on here as much as I want to is this. All right. For those of you who don't know, I'm launching a club slash capital company in West Palm Beach, about a mile away from Trump's house at Mar-a-Lago. All right. Now, this is not your ordinary club. Mind you, we will have education sessions and everything like that. But what I'm doing is it's in an old bank. It has a drive-through teller system, has all of that. It has a vault, which I actually thought was the coolest thing. Now, why is this important? Because this is going to be the home of our private key capital offices. Now, what is private key capital? I'll explain that a little bit more once I wrap up a few more things. But it is what the future is going to look for all of the banks. Because the way we're going, guys, I'm old, what we grew up knowing as a bank is not going to exist anymore. That's why it's capital and not bank or credit union, because it's capital. Because everything, real world assets. Remember, I said that, was it on yesterday's show? Real world assets are all going to be tokenized. Those are capital assets. That's why we named it Private Key Capital, because there isn't going to be a such thing as a bank. Now, they may call themselves a bank, but it's not the way it ran for hundreds, if not thousands, well, hundreds of years. This is a complete new shift. This is tokenization of your house, your car, here's an example. As at Private Key Capital, right? Let's say you actually call us and go, "Hey, yo, Ben, I found a house over here, and I'm wanting to buy it. I need a loan." So we go through the loan process, and once we issue you the loan, that representation of ownership will be on a blockchain, and you will have equity tokens in your home. Now, those equity tokens will be a stable coin. Well, there will actually be two, no, probably one. So let's say you have a $400,000 house, right? You'll have 400 and something thousand tokens representing your house. Whatever your house is worth, that's what the amount of actual tokens will exist for that house in your wallet. Now, these are, and this is way ahead of everyone. These are equity tokens. These are equity tokens. Our capital company will hold the amount of the loan of those tokens. You, every time that you actually are at a level of equity, you receive from our bank that chunk of equity tokens into your wallet. So you can actually see how much equity and representation of that home value in your wallet. Now, let's move ahead, say 10 years. And the appreciation of your house, you originally paid $400,000. Now it's worth whatever. Hell, I don't know, like $450,000. And you have, because you've actually been making your payments and all that, you have $100,000 worth of equity. And you actually want to utilize that equity. Not a problem. You send your equity tokens out of your equity wallet and you send it to our capital company. And we issue you stable coins equivalent to that equity amount. You see what I'm saying? This is 100% gets rid of the banks. That's what Trump is doing. That's what Eric Trump and Trump, because we all know already they're replacing the Federal Reserve with the Treasury. Well, no, they are replacing the Federal Reserve with private currency. That's the old model. That's the Andrew Jackson model, which Let's look back in history. That's when America boomed. It was the largest growth America had ever seen. That era is actually called the private banking era. Look it up. Hop on YouTube. A lot of you are on YouTube right now. Once we wrap up this show, Google that shit. Private banking era. And this is where we're going because the old system, look at what's going on with the Federal Reserve, guys. It's an entity that isn't needed. In fact, it's really never been needed. We never needed an entity between the Treasury Department and the general public for issuing currency. That wasn't how we were made. And when I say we, I mean America. That's why we have a Treasury Department. And we run the mint. They created the Federal Reserve so that the rich could get richer and the Federal Reserve could allocate capital to the Federal Reserve friends and corporations and the entities and the NGOs and all. That's who took over our government. Because as soon as the Federal Reserve was actually creating the money, that removed the people from that. That shifted the power, because money is power, out of the hands of the people and into the hands of private banks. And not a decentralized private bank. No. See, we have been robbed for so long that actually being robbed is normal now. Oh, Federal Reserve's going to adjust the interest rate. Oh, so good. Guys, they're setting the price of money, judging which way's the wind blowing, instead of leaving it up to the market. Because when you have private currencies, they compete with each other, which brings in responsibility. If you are issuing a stable coin and you're irresponsibly issuing it, the market will punish you. That's the free market. That's the open market. The open market is competition. And that's what everything is competition. That's nature. That's what nature is. It is a competition for energy and advancement. That's what nature is. When you have a really huge freaking tree and you got a little bitty tree right next to it, that little bitty tree has to kind of move and kind of grow some leaves this way and kind of go, I need a little sunlight. Can I get a little sunlight? That's competition. That's natural competition. And that's what the markets need. And in order to do that, you have to decentralize. That's what America did. That's what the founding fathers did. They decentralized the authority over America. That's why we have Illinois. That's why we have the Texas. That's why we have New Jersey. Because in a centralized governance structure, the power flows up if it isn't decentralized. Because here, what we have now is we have Illinois, California, Florida, Everyone is sending money to the federal government, and then they're redistributing that money accordingly. No. This should be a competition. Florida should be in competition with Texas. Texas should be in competition with California. Because once you inject competition, everyone wins. Because it's a race to be the freest place. Florida, hence why I live in Florida. They just announced two huge things yesterday. Number one, they are no longer going to have a vaccine mandate. Freedom. Now, I won't elaborate on what's really behind that, but that will come out. RFK Jr. today. Watch for it. And then number two, Florida is going to let the people have a vote to get rid of property tax. Wait, what'd you say? Get rid of property tax. Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah, let's get rid of property tax. Because this is how you shrink the government. You make them shrink. You force them to shrink. And this is the governor of Florida saying, hey, can you help us shrink the government? How do you shrink it? You don't give it the fuel of your taxes. That's what your taxes are. They are the fuel that runs the beast of government. Guys, Florida already doesn't have an income tax. Now, what if you don't have property tax? We might, you know how many people are going to come to Florida? And what does that generate? That generates usage tax. See, I have no problem against a sales tax, not at all. Or a usage tax, not at all. Not at all. How do you create more income for the government in a free way, not slavery, and like they said, with actually getting rid of the property tax. When you own your house, you shouldn't have to pay the government rent, which is your taxes. Because if you owe taxes and you don't pay them, they take your property. So who really owns the property? Is it you or is it the government? It's the government. They want to get rid of that. I'm all for it. Once you pay off your house, you shouldn't have to pay a dime to nobody, except maybe insurance. If you want to. If you own your house, you shouldn't have to have insurance. It's a choice, but it's freedom. And then if your house burns down, guess what? You're sheet out of luck and you have a burnt down house. But it's a choice. This is really where we're going to, guys. We are going into a decentralized freedom system again. And I've actually had people ask me why. Why are we going to this system? It almost seems natural. It is natural. Because the old system, the old centralizing system, is breaking down. It always does. Every centralized system eventually breaks down. It reaches a point where it has to decentralize, or there's a revolution. And we are in the process, and I say we, I actually mean like Trump and all of his group, and Florida and Texas, and probably not California anytime soon, because they're still trying to work out this communism thing. This time it'll work. They don't realize. Well, no, they do realize. They do realize they have to destroy the economy of California to rebuild it. But the people in California have to live through that destruction. And the only thing they keep telling you guys is it's going to get better. Elect us again. Yeah, I know I didn't do jack shit to really help you last time, but this time I promise I'm going to help you guys. In fact, the first thing I'm going to do when I'm elected, I'm going to shut off the water to the farmers. See, this is a global agenda, guys. It has actually been a global agenda for at least, oh my God, probably 600 years of recognizable, attributable, ooh, that's a good word, attributable, is that a word? It should be. Someone call Webster. To a group. Whether you want to call them the New World Order, the Illuminati, and for those of you who don't think there's Illuminati, look at the letters that George Washington wrote to Benjamin Franklin in London. When he explained, they were at war with what were known at the time the Illuminati. And the Illuminati shifted into communist. And from communist, they moved into the progressive movement. Think about this, guys. When you're progressing, you kind of have to have a goal set that you're progressing to. See, the elites of the Illuminati, they have a plan for organizing the world. And your voice in their world, it doesn't count. Well, that's changing because now they have centralized so much and they have created a global structure that's so inefficient that they have to rearrange human capital, as they call it, to align with their model. That's why Joe Biden said, all right, illegal aliens, come on in. Look at Europe. Europe's screwed. I don't know how the hell they're going to get back because they were rearranging the population to actually lay into their new system. And you say, all right, Ben, how do you know that? Agenda 21, Agenda 2020, Agenda 2025, Agenda 2030, and Agenda 2050. They told us. But the general public never hears about Agenda 2050. Nope, that's at the elite level. Now, some of us, it's on their website. Google Agenda 20. All right? Read through it. Look at it. Check it out. Because this is where they're taking us. This is where they want us to go. And they'll use war. They'll use World War One, World War II. But they could only have World War One, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, Afghanistan, Iraq. They can only have these wars because of the Federal Reserve. So what Trump's doing, and the reason the Fed and the New World Order, Illuminati, whatever the hell you want to call them, the progressive movement, global progressive movement, they don't want that, guys. There we go. Now I'm back. Yeah, see, this, who knows? I don't know if that's like the CIA or something. There we go. Good. It's we live in a world that there are two sides, folks. There are freedom, decentralization structures, and there are collectivists, the progressives. All right. There's two systems we got here. We have the old control structure and the decentralized structure. And that's the Federal Reserve. That's what Trump's doing. That's what the stable coins are. Is getting rid of the Federal Reserve, because the Federal Reserve is the catalyst of the control. Without the Federal Reserve, we're fine, especially now that we have cryptocurrencies. Because now we don't need a money creator. We have real time labor absorption in a decentralized currencies. That's what the Bitcoin is. That's what Litecoin is. I'll even fucking throw in Digibyte. The key is decentralization, because everything that isn't decentralized and doesn't involve decentralization means that it can be affected by manipulation. That's what the interest rate is. It's the Federal Reserve manipulating the economy. No. Because that's how they control the population. That's how they control the people, is the Federal Reserve and the European Bank, Central Bank. That's why Russia kicked out the central bank. I'm telling you, folks, we're entering into a huge shift. And Eric Trump was right. He said yes, and he let it slip out a little bit. He said it is go time, guys. It is go time. Look at what all is coming out. The Epstein women. That was a huge deal yesterday. We have so much that, guys, there was a senator. There was a senator or a representative, I don't remember. She literally said that the Epstein victims named names in the closed door meeting. And the representative literally said, it's some of the richest people in the world. Does that sound like Bill Gates? We're shifting, folks. We're shifting. And this shift is ramping up. And we're hitting a new level of oh shit. RFK is going after the vaccine makers. That's war. That is war. Because they have evidence that all of the vaccines, that's what has happened to our society. They have been poisoning us through the vaccines. I mean, some of them have mercury in it. Do you know what mercury does to the human body? It ain't good. I think they say they put it in there as a stabilizer. Oh, it's going to stabilize you. Your EKG won't have any volatility. It will be stable. In fact, it will be flat. We have actually been at war for a long time, and we always will be. Right? I'm not saying in the future everything is going to be perfect. Won't be. But the power of the money, once you put it in the hands of the people, that's a stabilizer. That's a freedom stabilizer. Because no one can act against you if they don't have the capital to act against you. What if the federal government is restrained at going out and fucking fighting a bunch of wars and they can't afford it? Because what if they would have said, hey guys, we want to go to Vietnam and have this little boom boom party. We'd like to raise your taxes about 10%. Are you guys good with that? No. No one is going to vote for war. No one. Especially if we have to pay for it. Wait, so you want me to send you more money so you can go blow up some people that I don't fucking know and really don't give a shit about? Yeah. I'll pass. This puts the power into the hands of the people, as it should be, because money is power. Currency is power, hence the word currency. We've reached a point now where the future is so bright because we're entering into the decentralization era. And with decentralization comes opportunity. Opportunity is the water of life. And that's where we're moving into. And we haven't even really talked about AI or robotics. Guys, I have been watching interviews and lectures on AI and robotics and the race for AI. Holy cow, guys. The world is not going to look the same in 2 years. And I mean, not just a little not the same, a lot not the same. I watched a video from over in China. I think it was China. Yeah, China. Where I think there were 8,000 robots marching down the street. I think it was at the military parade. I don't know for sure, but Google it. Chinese robots marching down Chinese street. Folks, that's some Star Wars looking bullshit. Now, I also, earlier this morning, I was watching an interview from one of the CEOs of the AI robot people. And they were showing clips. This thing's like doing laundry, walking around the house, open up the refrigerator, grab out some milk, pour some milk. Now, that sounds simple. It's like, okay, a robot can make you some eggs. That's great. I don't think people realize how this is going to evolve. See, what if you have a robot at your house? And really, guys, the prices of these aren't going to be bad. You're going to be able to lease one for like $150 a month. That's less than a fucking car. Now, let's say you get one of these robots. There's only so much shit around your house that it's going to do. So you work with your neighbors. Hey, and next thing you know, your robot is your employee. Wait a second. Let's say you have a Tesla, and while you're not driving it, it's out there giving rides. And we haven't even touched on the topic of power. Guys, I watched a lecture, what was it, like 3 days ago? The cost of electricity is going to plummet. Plummet. Why do you think I'm launching a mining company? Guys, why do you think Eric Trump and his brother are launching a mining company? Just went public on the NASDAQ yesterday. I think it was NASDAQ, yeah. Because they see what I see. And I'm intelligent. Okay, now we're back. Sorry, guys. They see what I see, right? We have engineers, electrical and nuclear engineers from MIT explaining how energy within the next 2 years, well, one guy said 1 year, the other guy said 2 years. Within the next 1 or 2 years, electricity prices are going to drop like a rock because of new nuclear fourth generation technology. And guys, fusion. Wait till you see what's coming out with fusion. If you don't know what fusion is, Google that shit. Imagine a nuclear reactor, except reverse, where you aren't breaking the atom apart. You're pushing the atoms together, fusing them together. That creates over 100 times, I think it's 100 times more energy than nuclear. And there's fusion plants that are being planned right now. Guys, we're on the precipice. And in fact, I'm not even going to say that. We're living through this. It isn't that this is going to start soon. This has already started. Already started, guys and gals. At our clubs, at our organization, we are growing by leaps and bounds because we're setting up a system. We have the clubs. We have the capital company. We're resorts. Future Airlines still work. You'd be surprised how many licenses you need to run airlines. It's ridiculous. Right? And now we're getting into mining. What we're creating is our own ecosystem where we handle everything inside of the system ourselves. There's no profit leakage. That's what we've created. And this model, actually the closest ones who are actually doing what I'm doing is the Trumps. It's why they're involved in World Liberty Financial. I think that's what it's called. They're doing what I'm doing, except they are billionaires. So I've had to kind of slow walk this thing. But they're creating what I'm creating because they know exactly what I know. In this new system, your net worth is your network. And once you set up the network, that you optimize it by removing the profit leaks. What are profit leaks? Profit leaks is hiring someplace to bring you a service into your organization. Why would I? Now, don't get me wrong. Right now, we have amazing partners that we mine with. Why wouldn't we launch our own mining rigs or our own mining company? Because we have profit leakage to our partners. Nothing against our partners. Love you guys. You guys are doing damn awesome for us. But I have the friends, I have the knowledge, we have the capital. We can launch our own mining company and then grow it. And then that profit leakage, no more leakage. It's inside the network. So everyone in our network profits off of us owning a mining company. You know why? Because if you're in our network, while everyone else is charging you 25, 30%, if you're in our network, we can cut that in half. Why? Because we don't have any profit leakage. Like I said, the only ones I see who are doing what we are doing is the Trumps. We have private key capital. What do they have? World Liberty Financial, whatever. Theirs is structured a little different because they have they're using a token. I'm not. That's it. Do you think the Trumps are wrong? Do you think that the Trumps are like, you know what? We don't know where this thing's going, but hell with it. Let's throw a couple, billion, actually like $100 billion. Let's throw $100 billion into this little thing here. Their dad's the president of the United States. You don't think they got a little bit of knowledge there? I would think so. And they just said, like last week, the Trump organization, all of his hotels, all of his properties, all of his golf courses, all of that. Where are they putting the money, the profit from that whole organization? Where are they putting it in? Bitcoin. Why aren't they buying treasuries? Why isn't the Trump organization, why aren't they buying treasuries and holding those as the assets on their reserve? There's a lot of companies. Look at Apple. Apple has like $600 billion, and half of that's treasuries. Why isn't the Trump organization holding treasuries? Is it because they know treasuries are about to get their asses handed to them? And when I say treasuries, I mean treasury bonds. Because if you look at the bond market, it is screwed. It is screwed more than you can imagine. You want to see what's going on? You want to see the future of the American bond market? Look at Europe. Look at the UK. Not good, folks. Not good at all. The Federal Reserve is getting ready to announce they're going to drop the interest rate. Why? Why are you dropping the interest rate? Oh, labor. Just watched an interview with a labor expert along with an AI expert in the same interview, and they both agreed, yeah, we're fucked. Because AI, guys, I don't know if it was Apple or, yeah, it was Apple yesterday. Google this. Apple requires all of their production facilities around the world to prepare for AI and robotics. Oh, shit. Well, that's Apple phones. Guys, that's just the beginning. That's the easy shit. And there's a place called Workforce. Its shares plummeted this morning. Plummeted. You know why? Because one of the AIs launched a certain area of AI that basically replaces the fucking company. Saw that also with another app that is a translator. It's It's a translator app. Well, Google just announced that their AI is now a translator in real time, and it's free. The other company charges like $9 a month or 20 something dollars a month. That they got creamed on the stock market. And in fact, on the chart, you could see right when Google announced that shares of that company, they totally just shit the bed right there. Oh, damn. There goes our product market fit. Google just totally wiped out our company with a freaking announcement. That's coming, folks. That's coming. What everyone here watching this, listen to me, folks. Your goal should be joining a network, joining a community, join the club, because that membership is going to be more valuable than you can even imagine in this new industry. We have classes every week explaining this, explaining what's coming and how to actually get in front of it. All right, guys and gals, once again, it's time to hodl. If you're looking for a loan to get you some Bitcoin, we offer loans. We offer refinancing for your house. And you take the proceeds or the partial proceeds, and we help you buy Bitcoin. Privately help you purchase Bitcoin. Privately. I'm telling you guys, the future's here. Give us a call, 941-413-6920, or you can send us a text. All right? We offer loans. That's what Michael Saylor does. He leverages loans to buy more Bitcoin. That's what freaking that's exactly what Gary Cardone is. No, he sold what was it, like a $40 million house? And he said, oh, I'm fucking putting that. Listen to me, guys. Gary I think it was Gary or Grant. What is it, Grant? It might be, I don't know. One of the bros. He's selling his $40 million house and going to put it in Bitcoin. This guy owns a shit ton of real estate. He's selling his private residence to buy Bitcoin. And he owns and runs billions of dollars worth of real estate. What do you think is going to happen to the price of real estate? That's why we offer our home equity loan now. If you capture that equity right now, while there's equity in there, and when housing prices drop, you've caught that equity. You didn't have a loss of equity. You shifted the equity into the largest appreciating asset in history. That's smart finance. All right, guys, give us a call or send us a text, 941-413-6920. Love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow for the Friday show. Kick ass and take names. and enjoy your Thursday. Bye-bye, guys.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.